In the previous lectures, we have seen programs on pattern programming. Now let us extend our study for a few more advanced programs which can be solved using loops. Our 47th program is on factorial. We are going to find factorial of a given number. Before that, let me explain you what factorial number is. Factorial is denoted by exclamation mark like this. So this signifies 5 factorial, and 5 factorial is equal to multiplication of all the digits starting from 5 till 1. So factorial of 5 is 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 120. Similarly, factorial of 3 is equal to 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, which is equal to 6. Now let us see how we can solve this problem programmatically. What we need to do is write a for loop starting from n till 1 or in the reverse order and multiply current value in the loop with the previous multiplication. So we can start with 1, and for the first iteration the variable which will be storing the result can also be initialized to 1. So 1 multiplied by 1. So the variable which will be storing our results is also initialized to 1. So in the first iteration we will multiply first value with our result. So 1 multiplied by 1, and this result will again store into our variable where we are storing the result, that is fact. Then in the second iteration 2 will be multiplied with the current value of fact, so fact will become 2, and in the third iteration 3 will be multiplied with current value of fact, which is equal to 2, and fact will become 6, and so on the process will be continued. So for writing this program I am going to use 3 variables. I will be our looping variable, fact is a variable which will be storing the result and it is also initialized to 1, and third variable is n, will be storing user's input into n. So here I am asking user to enter value and it will be stored into variable n, and then this is our for loop which will be starting from 1 and it will be iterated till n, and then inside of this for loop I am just writing fact is equal to fact multiplied by 1. So whatever the current value of fact, that will be multiplied with current value of I, and the new result will be stored into fact. And at the end of the program we are simply printing current value of the fact. So let us see how this program will be executed using this simple table. So the variable that we are going to use is I, then fact and n. So at the time of initialization I will be storing some garbage value. Fact is holding 1, and we are assuming that in the initial statement user has entered 5 as value of n. When program controller comes on this statement, so I will be initialized to 1 and our condition is true. So the single statement which is part of this for loop will be executed. So what is happening over here? Fact is equal to fact multiplied by 1, that is fact which is equal to 1 and I which is also equal to 1. So 1 multiplied by 1. So whatever the result be, it will be stored again into fact. So in the first iteration fact will become 1. N is going to remain as it is because we are not changing this value, so we are not going to utilize this column at all. After executing this statement, I will be incremented to 2, and again the condition will be checked. So the condition will be 2 less than or equal to 5, which is a true condition. So again this part will be executed. So in the second iteration, value of fact which is 1 will be multiplied with the value of I which is 2 in this case. So 1 multiplied by 2, so 2 will be stored into fact again. And after that value of I will be incremented to 3, and again the same condition will be checked as 3 less than or equal to 5, which is a true condition. So controller move on inside of for loop, and again this statement will be executed. So current value of fact is 2, then multiplied by I which is equal to 3, so 6 will be stored into variable fact. Similarly in the fourth iteration 4 will be multiplied with the 6 and fact will become 24, and in the fifth iteration fact will be stored as 24 multiplied by 5 which will be 120, and after that value of I will become 6 and condition will be checked as 6 less than or equal to 5, which is a false condition, hence for loop will not be executed. And in the next line we are just going to print factorial of given number is %d, and we are printing value of fact. So fact will be replaced over here, so output will be factorial of the given number is 120, and after that your program will be completed.